What was the hardest part for you?
Because my social life is so built around food, that was the hardest thing.
He lost 60 pounds in 4 months. That's a lot. I'm excited to hear your story, Mr. Billy Henderson, Pastor Billy, and Trainer Joe. Dive right into it. I'm going to be behind the camera, maybe popping some questions. So
Don't go far. We couldn't do it without you.
I'm not going far. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Billy, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh man, thanks. I want to be here. I want to tell people about this program.
All right.
As a fact, I do tell people.
A lot of folks out there have heard me. They've heard Paul. They haven't heard a lot from guests that have done the program. So it's exciting for us, for somebody, a third party. Please don't feel obligated to say all nice things. If you have concerns, share them too. But give us a little, just start out, just tell us a little bit about your journey. I have several specific questions, but if it's okay, let me just open it up. Tell us what happened and how you got here.
I tried to lose weight once, only once.
I was wondering about that because you don't seem like, I don't remember you struggling with it much. It was just you, as the years went by, you slowly gained, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the problem. I didn't struggle with it. I just let it happen. I started out, I realized that I'd gone up from, my getting married 32s, and I was now at a 38. And when I realized that, and it was a little tight, I realized I gotta do something.
Well, let me get some specific questions for you here. You did better than most people that do my program. Okay, we have averages that people do. You were above average, so I'm wondering, why was that? Why do you think? 60 pounds in 4 months, if we're correct here, that is somebody that's really kind of all in, that does that well? Why do you think you did as well as you did? I like to say, well, it's just a great program, but you did better than average. What was your approach? Why do you think you did so well?
Well, like I said, you said it crept up, and it did. And I tried a couple of different things, just doing it on my own. And so I just decided, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And that's one of the reasons I reached out to you, is because everybody's different. But for me, if it's personal, if it's relational, and to be honest, I wanted to do it with you. And so it was something that I could do together with Trainer Joe. And so wanting to do it and deciding, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be successful. I think that's all it was.
And you haven't tried a lot of things, so you're not the guy to ask, oh, you've tried everything, but you did try the Noom. You like this better than that. Right, obviously.
Well, the main reason is this is so simple. I am absolute proof that any idiot can do it. It's just 4 or 5 things, and do it every day, and it works.
Yeah, that's how I look at it too.
That I'm the idiot that can prove it.
I'm glad we finally got an idiot. We finally had an idiot do the program and do well. I was like, I guess any idiot can do it. Well, you said it. Why do you think most people struggle so much with their weight? You would agree most people struggle with their weight. Well, it's very common. It's more common than not, and it's like an epidemic in our culture in America, and I would like that to be maybe different. Well, why do you think it's that way?
Well, who knows why it got started, but I think one thing that perpetuates it now is just the culture itself. Everything is built around food. There's a super abundance, so I think wealth and marketing and just the ability to eat whatever you want.
It's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you tell a friend who's trying to lose weight?
Same thing I tell somebody about every 4 or 5 days. Hey, have you heard of Trainer Joe?
Next question. Yeah, so in my groups, sometimes I'll say, what have you learned? What would you tell a friend trying to lose weight? So in addition to saying, do the Trainer Joe program, is there 1 or 2 specific things that you're like, maybe you hadn't thought of or that you weren't doing before that you could tell somebody? You could say, one of the things you probably should do, or you might want to consider, other than just saying, do my program, that's something that's changed for you that you could say, here's something I would do if I were you.
Honestly, not only do I say, have you heard of Trainer Joe? I say, I'll pay for your first month. I'm so sold on it. But I would tell them that there's several different aspects that are very, very simple. And one is the drinking the water. You know, I don't know the science of it. That's another thing about your program. I didn't have to get educated in physiology or anything, nutrition.
Yeah, right.
I just did it.
You drank the water and you drank the Kool-Aid.
I drank the water and I drank no, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Not during the 21 day.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't thought about it. I don't know.
I love that. So what's your...
As a matter of fact, if you
Yeah.
don't mind me interrupting, everybody's different. But when somebody has lost weight and they have this thing where they say, you got to do this, and it's
Right. You got to do intermittent
drink
fasting or
lemons
keto,
or- yeah,
cabbage.
I don't want to be that guy. I want you to be that guy. That's why I say sign up for Trainer Joe.
Yeah, I hear you. So what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge to keeping it off? And do you feel like you're equipped to keep it off? How nervous are you? What are you going to do if and when it starts creeping back?
Well, I that's one thing I have thought about. And when I make promises to myself, I keep them. And I have promised myself, I started out at 224. I got down to 164. And I actually didn't lose 60 pounds in 4 months.
Cut.
No.
Cut them off.
Hey,
You've said enough. Thanks for
I-
coming.
I lost 60 pounds in 4 months in 1 day.
Okay.
Because
We okay with that, Director?
you won't remember this, but on the last weigh-in, you kept texting me saying, send your weight, and I did not want to send it because I'd only lost 59 pounds.
Yeah.
So I waited till the next day.
Okay.
And I'd lost that last pound,
Yikes.
and then I sent it to you. So it was 4 months in 1 day.
Fair enough.
What was the question?
How are you going to keep it off? Have we?
So
do you feel like you're equipped to keep it off? What are you going to do? Because most people that lose 60 pounds, particularly quickly, gain it back.
Yeah, well, I
hate to say it, but that's just the truth.
Well, so
Not necessarily with mine, but in general, that's what happens.
yeah. Well, so to this point, I have not picked up any weight of any significance. Maybe a couple pounds, but I know how to get rid of it in 2 days. So I haven't gained and got a plateau.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm where I want to be, but I'm at basically at 165. If I get up to 170, and I just chose a number, if I get up to 170 and I stay there for a week, I realize, wait, I've got here and I'm here. I'm just going to sign up for another 21 day. And that is my fail safe.
We do allow people to come back. It's not a bad idea. And that's what I want people to do. I want them to have a number where they don't just let it happen and suddenly they're back where they were. So I
Right.
love that idea.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
And I told my wife that I'm not going to claim victory for 1 year because I went into it and I said, I'm going to do everything that the program tells me to do.
And you did. And I want to interject because I might forget. What was the hardest part for you? And not everybody knows exactly what the program is, but that's fine. You can still just say what the hardest part for you.
point is, so a big part of the program is you are told what foods you can eat.
Right. We give you a list.
And because my social life is so built around food, that was the hardest thing. We'll have a home group in our house, and somebody always does
Brownies
or something, and we have meals and all these things. So it was pretty challenging to start with, but after about halfway through the second one, I got it all figured out, and that wasn't a challenge anymore.
When I think of how you did it, and we talked some while you were doing it, I recognize that you were willing to let go of that part of enjoyment in your life. To me, it's like you just decided, if this is, I need to do this, even if it takes away some of my enjoyment in life, which is the brownies at home group.
Yes.
I mean, So I think some people they're trying to decide: am I going to be okay with letting this part of fun, enjoyment, pleasure leave my life, and is it going to be worth it?
Yeah.
Did you go through that? Because you did. You said goodbye to some of the fun of life. Did you? How would you say it?
I think that's true, but I think another thing that's true about me is I am pretty relational, and so it was a way to be together. Oh man, aren't these good? And I mean, it's an amazing how much you talk around food, and it's a common experience. And so I think it was that part was just as challenging to me, not just the enjoyment of the food itself, but the enjoyment of being together around food. You know, everybody's got their chili they make. Everybody's got their, special burger they make. And
Has your conversation changed around food? Is it different now? Because we joke, oh, these are delicious. I'll have more. Hey, we got more food. You want another helping? Just the normal conversations we have. Who made the brownies? These are amazing. What's different for you in these circles of just people and food and parties and celebrations that go on all the time?
I think one of the things that I didn't want to do is become an expert on what kind of food you can eat. So I really don't even talk about. I don't say, hey, there's less calories in, and it's fine if people do that, but
Sure.
I just didn't want to do that.
Good. I think that's fine. Yeah.
I mean, if it's in the context of a conversation where you're talking about losing weight,
But you're not gonna
But
just
some
bring that.
people, I every time you turn around, if they've lost. The funniest of these people who have lost like 500 pounds, they lose 50 and gain it back 50, and the grand total they've lost 500, and
They
then
have a great program.
And hey, have you tried? And so, I don't encourage people to eat as much as I used to. Hey, you got to try this here, have another one.
Go back on that a little bit. Yeah.
But it's balanced. It's not like you have to fast the rest of your life. I mean, I still enjoy food, and I don't feel like I've lost anything, really.
Good. I don't think we should see it that way because I think we gain. There's a net gain.
No, I lost.
Yeah. But would you agree? So
Sorry.
but what we're trying to people have to get to the point where they decide this is a win for me.
Yeah.
This is not something taken from me.
Right.
And that's one of the challenges we have because people are afraid to join this program sometimes. Joe's going to take something from me that's very precious to me.
Well, it gets replaced with something. I mean, your tastes do change. And so you begin to enjoy fresh. You begin to enjoy,
It's a more viable option when you're not eating the
non-processed.
donut, right? When you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
something that's just like, okay, what else is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question I had, you mentioned that you did the Trainer Joe program almost perfectly. And there are thousands who've gone through this program and they've
Less than perfectly.
done it, say they've given it they've gotten like a B or they've done
Average.
about 90% of it. How difficult was it to do the Trainer Joe 21 Day Transformation almost perfectly? How difficult is that?
I'm glad you added almost, because one thing I didn't do is we journal our food. And so I'd think, I'll catch it tomorrow and I'll come back to it. And I just couldn't remember everything. So my journaling was not perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
But
but doing it almost perfectly. How hard was that?
it wasn't hard for me. It was just,
Once you decided it, you just decided. And there are people like that. They just decide, I'll do this for 3 weeks. You like it, I'll do it 3 more weeks. That's kind of what you did.
yeah. Again, the only part that was a challenge was the social situations where I didn't want to be awkward or make people feel awkward. And so I had to figure out how to navigate that
game in
without them
itself.
even knowing.
He's a pastor, like he already shared. The relational aspect is very big for him, so I could see how that would be challenging. Just spitfire off the top of your head, doing the 21 Day Transformation, what were the 2 biggest, most impactful things for you that helped you lose that 60 pounds?
That helped me lose it. Having a set list that I didn't have to figure out calories and compare products. Just do this. That was so helpful to me because I don't like technical anything. So trying to technically understand all of this stuff. So just that specifically, but generally the simplicity of it. It's very simple, and for me the hard part was the relational part, and everybody had a different part that's hard, but simple.
Did faith play a role in your weight loss, and how would you articulate? We get a lot of people of faith do the program. Not everybody is, but I've had people do my program and say, "Wow, I didn't know faith was going to play a role in it." How did that play a role for you?
Well, you mentioned that question earlier, and immediately what I thought of was it's just as much as my faith played a role. This weight loss has played a role in my faith, because as I've embraced obedience to a simple law, and it's been successful, it made me realize so much more that if I'm faithful to the laws of love that God's given us, I'm going to be successful in life. And the little places I was challenged, the little places I would want to cheat, I could see that's not just with food, but it's with the way I walk with God. And so it has been very helpful. There's a scripture that says first the natural, then the spiritual. And so the little challenges and the less than perfect approach, which I was pretty perfect when it came to doing the program. I may have cheated once or twice in the whole first 2 or 3 21 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has really strengthened me in my relationship with God by being faithful to this program.
I love that. I really do.
I do too. I mean,
I'm glad that I've heard that before, and I've thought that. I'm like, this is an opportunity to grow in your faith, because it's gonna. It kind of like if you do a fast. I mean, it's probably going to affect you in that way, and this does too. That's great.
I just wanted to say, Pastor Billy, thank you for coming on, guys. I want to hear what stood out to you the most, whether you've gone through a program, the Trainer Joe 21-Day Transformation, or something different. What stood out to you? What stood out to you the most from Billy's testimony, his experience? Let's give him a round of applause in the comment section. 60 pounds in 4 months is no small thing. And if you guys want to do a 21-day transformation for yourself and experience it, the link is in the description. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, bring us home, Trainer Joe.
Train your brain and transform your body.
Your program really didn't do it for me, so I signed up for Weight Watchers, and it has just been fabulous.
Did you get to meet Oprah?
Start over.
Cut.